Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the new RunCam 2 Swift, and this new version of the Swift 2 has a lot of improved features over the original version. For example, the first thing I notice here is that it has a wider voltage range of 5 to 36, and the original Swift was 5 to 17 volts. And they also made changes to the lens on this version. I believe this version comes in three different lens options: 2.1, 2.3, and 2.5 millimeter lenses. And I think the 2.5 millimeter lens is 130 degree field of view, and the 2.1 is 165 degree field of view. So we'll compare this to the original Swift that I have with the GoPro lens and see what the field of view difference looks like. On top of that, there's also a OSD which includes a voltage sensor as well. That's on the new version that wasn't on the old version, and along with a couple other improvements. We'll take a look at all those here. Okay, so I got everything out of the box. Let me just go over quickly what you get here. You get an OSD cable for making your changes to the camera. You get this little bracket, just like on the original Swift. You get some screws and an Allen key, and some mounting options here, along with some washers. You get two sets of cables here, along with an extension cable for the OSD, which is a nice improvement over the old version. These two cables here are kind of interesting. Now, the new version comes with a microphone, so in addition to the voltage out, you have audio as well. So you have a lot more connections here, whereas on the old one you'd only have three, because you don't have power and video. And then obviously on the other end here you would have a four connection here, one additional connection here for the audio. It goes to your video transmitter. And if you don't want to use the voltage sensor or the audio, they have a more simple cable here. It's just a 3 connector and another 3 connector here, just for the video only, if you just want to use that. So as I mentioned earlier, you have this little OSD pigtail here. You can plug this in and then have this end a little bit in a little more convenient spot on your quad, so you can connect up the OSD joystick to actually make your changes. And you would plug in the other end to that. And then you can see here we got a whole bunch of connections here. You got the voltage, ground, video, audio, and VBAT, versus on the old one. On the old Swift here, you'd only have the 3 connections for the power and video, and then you have the 2 for the OSD. And the other thing that it looks like they've also changed is they've moved the connector from the bottom to the top, which is more convenient for people that want to have a lot of camera tilt, so that the connections here aren't hitting the bottom of the frame. A lot of times this would actually get damaged in a crash, because the camera would suddenly move or shift, and this connector would get broken. So it's actually better to be up there, so that's another improvement. So this does come with an additional case here with a different mounting style, with these 3 holes that are similar to the mounting style on the RunCam Eagle. Instead of using this style here, which is for this bracket, if your quad has different type of holes for its frame, you could use this. This might be a better option for you in terms of mounting. So here's a closer look at the lens here, and as you can see, it's a shorter lens than on the original RunCam Swift. And that was the big complaint on the original, was that the lens was protruding too much. And here we can see on the original, with the GoPro lens, it actually protrudes quite a bit more. And so when you put this in your craft and the lens sticks out and you crash head on into the ground or something pretty hard, oftentimes the lens would just get completely scratched up or destroyed, because it wouldn't be protected by the frame. So they've listened to the feedback from the users and have improved that as well. Here's a quick look at the user's manual. They, as always, have very good documentation, and it covers the camera menu and how to get to all the options. We'll actually go over all that here in a moment. I'll plug this in and we'll actually go through these. Here's some good diagrams on how to do the connections, along with the mounting. And you have some information here, some specs. get a quick weight measurement of just a camera with no wires. 13.2 grams. And this is the old Swift with the GoPro lens. And it's a little bit heavier, 14.3. Okay, so I got the camera connected to a video transmitter here and feeding into this FPV monitor. I just have the 3 lines on the left side here connected. It's the power, the ground, and the video. I'm not using the audio or the VBAT cable. By default, it will show the voltage coming from the battery input over here, and I have this configured or wired up for direct battery voltage. But I did notice that the voltage that's showing on here is off by about 0.2 of a volt. It's this battery is a 4-cell battery, and I measured it with a multimeter and 16.4 volts, so it's a little bit off here. You get the camera title here, and also the power on time over here as well. Now to get into your camera settings, you just click on the OSD joystick, and it gets you into the normal camera settings that were on the old Swift, and also this is the same as on the HS1177. So there's pretty well known what all these do. Get out of here. To get into the OSD menu, you actually press and hold the up button for about 2 seconds. So you press and hold it up, and then you get this menu here where you can change the camera title. You can turn on and off the pilot, which is the name, the timer, which is over here, the voltage, and this thing called baseline, which is like it's like an artificial horizon, which you can move up and down. Exit out of this. If you want to move one of these on the screen, you press and hold either left, down, or right. So go left, and then it'll turn this black with a white outline, and then you can move this around the screen to wherever you want using the joystick. And I happen to like it down there. It's a little bit too far. Then just press the button to save it. And then if you want to move the title, I think that's the down button. Press and hold that. Then you can move that around as well. And press and hold to the right to move your timer around. And it's in a good spot, so I'll just leave it there. So here's the look at the image and field of view of the lens that comes with it. It's approximately correct. It says it's about 130 degrees, and that's about right. I'll go ahead and I'll plug in the old Swift, and you can see how this image compares to the old Swift. Okay, so here is the original Swift with the GoPro lens, and with the old lens, the original lens, it was pretty narrow, about 90 degrees of field of view. With the GoPro lens, it's fairly comparable to the one that's on the Swift 2. It looks like it's approximately the same field of view, maybe slightly bigger. I would say maybe 135, 140 degrees field of view. So obviously the Swift 2 with a even wider lens up to 165 degrees is going to give you even a more wider field of view, both up and down and left and right as well. So just give you an idea between these two what it looks like. Anyway guys, that's a initial look at the RunCam Swift 2. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll try and incorporate that in the future videos of this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.